Okay, now we're going to talk about dihybrid crosses, which is when you're looking at two traits at the same time, and we want to figure out what our likelihood is of inheriting those two traits. The typical pattern that you're going to see is 9-3-3-1, which means you're going to have 9 of the dominant phenotypes, 1 of the recessive phenotypes, and then 3 are a mix and match of the other 2. Okay, and that's when you're crossing parents that are heterozygous for both traits. So let's look at how we do that. Okay, so first thing is to figure out how we can do a Punnett square for 2 traits, and we'll have 2 different kinds of letters. So right now it doesn't really matter what these letters stand for, it just is 2 different traits. Okay? So this is going to be person number 1, and then this is person number 2. You need to figure out basically what are the different combinations that can exist in the 4 gametes that that person produces, okay? So if this is mom over here, then mom's going to have 4 different eggs with 4 different combos of these letters. And then dad is going to have 4 different sperm. And now we're going to figure out what are the possible combinations of egg and sperm. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is remember the FOIL method from algebra. So FOIL stands for first, outside, inside, last. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our letters and we're going to FOIL them. So, for example, our first combo, we're going to take the first of each letter set. So we have a big D and a big T. Big D, big T. And then we're going to take the outsides, big D, little t. Take the insides, big D, little t. Or big D, big T, sorry. And then the last 2, big D, little t. Okay? So you notice we have 2 big big and 2 big little. It's always beneficial when you're creating a Punnett square to put the ones that are the same right next to each other on the square. That'll lead to some shortcuts later on. So we're going to take our 2 big D, big T, put those next to each other, and then big D, little t, put those next to each other. All right, so that's one parent. Now I got to figure out the other parent. So we're going to do the same thing. We're foiling. So first, big D, big T. Outside, big D, big T. Inside, little d, big T. And last, little d, big T. And that's what we're going to put down the side. Okay, then when you put these on the inside, the Punnett square, pull them down just like we did the monohybrid crosses, only you keep the letters that are the same next to each other, and keep the capitals in front of the lowercase within the little letter grouping. So for example, okay, this one's all big, that's all the same. Down here you would have a big, a little, a big, big. Okay, this little stays with the D. So keep the D's together and the T's together. Okay, if you notice there's a pattern here. So this top one here is going to be the same as the rest of them in this little quadrant. So you can just draw a little arrow around the quadrant. Same with this one, all the same. And the last one, all the same. Okay. So if you were to write this out, if I were to ask for your ratios, you could just say that 1 out of 4 1/4 of them, big, big, 1/4 of them. All right. So you have 1/4 of every kind. Okay, so here's an actual example. In racehorses, black hair and trotting gait are dominant to chestnut hair and pacing gait. We're going to cross two heterozygous black trotters. Okay, so heterozygous black means big F, little f, and heterozygous trotters is referring to the G, so big, little. Okay, so this one, you're going to FOIL. So we're going to get big F, big G, big F, little g. Okay, those are your four options. And both parents are going to be exactly the same. So what you want to do is just put them in that order going across. All right, now I'm going to show you a trick to dye hybrid crosses. There's a pattern to it, so if you fill this in the same pattern that I do, hopefully then you will see the pattern that exists. So first of all, I start down here, and all of the ones going diagonally this way are going to be identical. Okay, see how that works? They're all going to be the same. The ones going diagonally this way are all different. They're the only ones like that. The rest of them in this Punnett square have a match somewhere. So this one in this square is actually the same as this one in that square. Okay, I'll do a little symbol so you can see which ones are the same. Okay, this one right here is the same as this one up here. This one is the same as this one over here. I'll do a blue star. And the last one, this one is the same as that one. All right. So when we're writing all of this down, let's first figure out all of our genotypes. Okay, so we talked about how going diagonally this way, they're all the same. So let's do that. 4 out of 16 are going to be like that. Then we have each of those ones that were by themselves going diagonally the other way. So you're just going to write 1 out of 16 for them. And the rest of them have a matching pair somewhere. So those are the ones we did the symbols in. So just find the ones that are the same. If you are falling behind and can't keep up with what I'm doing, you can just pause the notes and fill it in so that you make sure you understand everything. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is figure out the phenotypes. So what we have for options, we have our two dominant traits, which are black and trotting. We got to add up, looking down here at all of the possible black trotters. So I'm going to underline them. So this one has a dominant right here. So there's 4 of those, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 out of 16 black trotters. Okay, then there's going to be black pacing, which means we're going to be dominant with the F's but little g's. So there's 1, 2, 3. It's going to be the same thing for the chestnut trotters. Those guys are right here, chestnut trotters. And then we just have our one little guy left, who is chestnut and pacing. So that's where we get that 9, 3, 3, 1 from. All right. Okay, this one is a little bit shorter. So we have freckles are dominant and free earlobes are dominant. So we have someone who is heterozygous for freckles, which means heterozygous for freckles, and free earlobes. So heterozygous for both, and a woman who is heterozygous for freckles and earlobes. So this is the same exact thing, sorry, that you just did. So I'm going to let you fill that out on your own to practice. You should come up with that 9, 3, 3, 1 ratio when you're all done. You'll have 9 of the freckled free. You'll have 3 of no freckles and free. You'll have 3 with freckles. And then the opposite of free earlobes are attached earlobes. And then you'll have this one little person with no freckles and attached. That should be your end result. So make sure you fill that out, and please ask questions if this does not make sense when you get to class.